There, that's the biggest you can get it, which is cool. That's already pretty cool. Because what I want to be able to do is talk about running both Google and Microsoft. You may know it as Bing, for blue collar pay-per-click ads. The only reason, well, most of the time when I come across a new client, they can't afford either. But you might as well set them all up at the same time. It's the same aggravation. But I think the default on a new contractor, and correct me if I'm wrong if you're down there, if you thought it went differently, is to go with Bing at the first. So what I do is I set up an account in Google Ads, and then I copy it over to Bing. I've never copied it back the other way. And that way at least saves some activity. You're still going to have to go through every account and make sure it lined up just right. But yeah, that's the way I look at it. But I like this guy's drawing here, and I stole this from another. Well, I didn't steal it. I actually had AI make this for me. But I took information from other websites and compiled it, and then came up with, I like 80-20 rule about everything. You know that. And so you need to be spending probably 80% of your money on Google Ads, 20% on Bing or Microsoft Ads. But maybe in the beginning, especially if you're a small, I had a young man call me yesterday for a window tinting company here in Foley. And I told him, don't be advertising at all. He was doing 70 grand. This was really kind of spectacular to me because it speaks really well of what we're doing today or have available to us today. Then when I jumped into business, I have a degree in engineering. I had a job, and it was killing me. And so back in those days, to me, especially with no guidance, no mentor, no anything, which I do recommend getting a mentor of some. I felt like in the action movies, how you see a guy on one roof of a building, he's going to jump over to the roof of another building. Okay. Well, I and so many other people like me jumped from one roof to the other. In other words, we cut off our livelihood and we didn't land on the other roof, and we crashed 12 stories below. You don't have to do that now. You can start a business. I mean, you can be working full time, get benefits, and then go. All right, you get benefits and then start something on the side part time, especially when you're young. Now, you may be a person that wants to start a new app or a new whatever, but I would say that when you're young, you also have one gift that I don't, and that's the ability to do things physically. So go out and learn to be a good painter, a good plumber, a good heating and air guy, and do that part time. And keep your day job and build your book of business. And then over the years, it will become natural. You can do a little advertising later, a little down the line. This guy told this guy really, to me, at least to hire somebody out. He wasn't quite to the point to where he should do that. He did have an office, but he only works there on Saturdays and Sundays. And he does, so he has a lot of time in between that office is sitting there by itself. And I said, well, you should bring in a suite mate. In other words, bring in a similar business. His asset in this office is had a garage and he could pull cars into it. And he should bring in another like-minded suite mate to pay half or even 2/3 of the rent. And then he's got someone in there all the time, and that's cutting that, because overhead's what's going to kill you in business. And so overhead, just like your overhead's advertising. In his particular case, I said, don't advertise until you do the following. Now, I said, I know you won't do it because it requires effort. We think we throw money at a problem and bam, it magically takes care of itself. But the ones that are truly doing well in business for the, they get out and do things, and then they add on things you can buy, such as pay-per-click. And in his particular case, I said, do some things like go around and meet all the car dealerships, although they're not selling that many cars. They are selling some, and meet car repair shops, auto body repair shops. He's got a lot of friends in the business that come in and auto detailing. Go and make sure you talk to these people every week and be top of the mind with them. Have your beautiful wife cook you a bunch of cookies and bag them up and go by once a week after work, right after you get off work, then at your regular job, and drive by and drop off a few bags of cookies just to keep you top of mind. And then build some more business that way, and then start thinking about advertising. Because building a business with advertising is very difficult. Building the foundation of a business, it doesn't matter what it is. So yeah, let's get back to the class at hand here. On Google Ads, it is going to bring in your high search volume near me, and which is intentional type stuff. It doesn't do any good to rank number one in the country for toilet repair. You need to rank for toilet repair in your location. And so you do that with geo-targeted intent words, like in my particular case, Foley toilet repair. In your case, it may be, I wouldn't pick Houston. That's still too big. I'd pick a quadrant of Houston, a village of Houston, and build my website around that and my landing pages around that. It dominates mobile because of I use everything that's Android. Most emergency calls are going to come from your phone. I think that most all of your calls are going to come from phone. People don't do that much research anymore on the internet. And even then, they're starting to switch. Probably another 15 to 20% have moved away and started doing their research over on AI. That's more than 20 topics for another day. 80% of your budget belongs here because the majority of demand is on Google. On the other hand, you've got to do what you might want to do if you are going to stick your toe into doing ads is bypass Google at first and go straight over to set up an account with Microsoft, because it is 20% of the traffic. And the leads are 70, 80% cheaper, at least. I've been running ads consistently on Microsoft for 15 years, at least, certainly 10. And I right now pay an account. The only paid ads I'm doing personally right now are on Bing. And I need to expand it now that I've said that out loud. Older homeowners, which is your target market in most cases, because you don't want younger homeowners or people that aren't owning homes because they don't have any money. They don't pay their bills. So older people have a higher level of home ownership and higher purchasing power, especially if you're working in areas like the villages in Florida, Conroe, South Carolina. My wife and kid and his wife are up in Waynesville, North Carolina now. These are all becoming magnets for second homes, magnets for, and where I live. If you look on a map, I'm down next to Gulf Shores, Alabama, which is like the one county before Mobile Bay and is on one side and the other side is Florida. So we're really part of the Panhandle. Or if you want to look at it a better way around, the whole Panhandle of Florida is really an extension of Alabama, Gulf Coast. So the people are like-minded there, have a lot of money. Alabama is is exploding right now, both here and up in Huntsville, and Baldwin County, where I live, is exploding because people in the Midwest can sell their $700,000 house, come down here and buy one for $3, put the other $4 in the bank. So they think they've hit the lottery. And then the cost of living is so much less. So they're coming down here. And the way I tell my kids is, we can't take care of ourselves. We're not going to jump up on the roof and make a repair. We're not going to fix a leaky faucet. We're going to have to hire it all out. So also, when it comes to emergency, like heating and air and plumbing, it will still trigger those words. 20% of your budget here captures more than probably 20% of your leads, because you'll be able to afford it. You know, the problem with Google is they'll burn through your ad spend. And then when people come back to find you, you're not there, and they'll go with the next guy. It just is, so you need to make sure your ads are running throughout the day at the very least. Now, if you need more information, I'm setting up a new website. It's a work in progress. It's called Get Calls AI. And on there, you will find, when it's all said and done, a pricing sheet, the type of work, but you'll be able to get in touch with me. If there's anything I can do for you, as far as showing you the ropes of pay-per-click advertising, book a call with me. I think there's a link on there. And so best of luck to you, and take care.